Hello everyone, my name is Brittany Greer and I'm going to dive right into this week's discussion. So basically the first question says, how would you explain to a colleague who has never heard of adverse childhood experience? For myself, I've never heard of it up until now. So I would explain to my colleague the basics of it. Adverse childhood experience, also known as ACE or ACE, is a traumatic event that occurs during childhood. This could have a serious impact on a person's physical, emotional, and mental health throughout their life. Also, I would also explain to them that adverse childhood experience increases in a person's life during certain health conditions, behaviors, and behaviors as they get older. They do not guarantee, they're not guaranteed, but to support children who face adverse events can learn to manage their experiences and lead meaningful lives. So, that's how I would explain it to my colleague. If they had further questions, we would sit down and go over more. We'll look it up. We'll look at other people's stories. But in childhood, it's so crucial because they're supposed to be young and naive. But that young and naive gets taken away when they go through something so life-changing. An impact that it could have on a student in the classroom is that they're not willing or wanting to be focused. Their mind is off on some other planet or just not there. So their grades or listening skills, what we would call listening skills, wouldn't be the best. And it's not because they don't know how to listen. It's the fact that they are going through so much and they don't know how to handle it, let alone understand what they went through. So for them, we might think as teachers, we could be sitting there teaching a lesson and everybody else is functioning and taking part in today's lesson. But little Sally over here she's not. She's head down, writing on her desk, coloring, doodling, staring at the wall, staring at her desk. There's just so much that student could be doing while you're teaching, but you don't understand why until you know that they have gone through something so life-changing. How do I plan to support students with one or more ACE in my classroom? Good question. Students need to know that we are there for them and that we are willing to work with them and understand how they are feeling. I think it's a very good and strong asset for a teacher to have. Knowing that your student is going to have more than one ACE problem in your classroom, coming up with different solutions, coming up with different plans that is set for that child, for that student, not for the whole class. Because every student that could have the same thing as Sally does, it's not going to work for all students. So having a basic plan for each set of it and finding what's going to work well for that student. I'm going to make sure for my student that I will have that support and have those resources for them to use. If that student needs a moment to go sit in the cozy corner, that student is allowed to. until I'm done teaching and have the class working on something, that's when I would step in and go over and be like, okay, I know I see something's going off. I'm glad that you took my offer of sitting in the cozy corner section. If you want, I can work on this lesson with you one-on-one. Or if you just don't want to do it today, we can work on it tomorrow. We're going to work on it later today. It's just, there's so much that I could do to help manage that and support my students. What routines or structures might you put into place to help them succeed behaviorally and academically? My focus is making sure that my students are okay. If they are not okay to learn for that day, that is fine. We will try again the next day. If it's becoming a continued process, then help will come in. If I have to get the guidance counselor, the school counselor, the principal involved, I will do that. As long as it's going to help that student and help that student get better and know how to handle what they are going through, yes. There's just routines and structures, they're nice to have, but when they don't work, there's only one thing and one thing to do. And just pray that it works. My structure will be making sure that student is learning and that they are okay and that they are safe. It's like PTSD for adults. We need reassurance. We need to have reassurance that we're okay. Doing that for the student is going to help them know that they're okay and that they are safe and that they will learn. That's the best setup that you can do. Thank you. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week.